So, hello, hello. Thank you all for being here. I'm excited. Happy Martin Luther King Day. And he is and was a great man. I honor him so much. We have not achieved his dream yet, but we are working on it. We're in progress. And I wanted to come on and do a quick live because I have been thinking about his dream and also his dedication to a dream, and also asking you, perhaps today or this week, you can spend some quiet time and reflect, what is my deep dream for my community, for myself, for the world? And I have a deep dream and belief. I believe that lasting happiness and success depends on our reverence and our connection to the natural world. That's just, there's no doubt about it. That's what I believe. And I also believe that each one of us can be connected to the natural world. For some of us, we start with that connection within, and if and also you can connect to the natural world outside. I think it's like a both, like with a lot of things, like our in breath and our exhale, our inhale and our exhale. We connect to ourselves, we connect to the world. We connect to ourselves, we connect to the world. Or you could live your life like some people do, and they're not connected to any of it. But as I said, I think for lasting success and happiness, you need both. You need to be connected to the natural world and honor it, and connecting to and honoring yourself. So I want to know, are you honoring yourself right now? Are you revering yourself as an incredible human being, as a divine creation, as someone that has reason for being? And I don't mean that you have to get all worked up into like, what is my reason for being and what is my purpose? But just know that you are in existence, and that is important. I cannot think of any organism on this planet who the fact that they're here is like some fluke. Even in the natural world, things that may start out as mutations, I see as nature's way of playing, well, what if we do it this way? What if we do it this way? Does this give this species a better survival rate? Does this give this species a better survival rate? Our species, humans, right now, we are in a period of expansion and play and testing out new things. And I really always believe that, and from when I was a teacher, I did this, and in every field that I have worked in, I do my best to honor and see the radiance and inherent beauty and value in every human being that I connect with. I also feel that way about plants and mushrooms and rocks, and well, rocks aren't alive, but all these other creatures. And I also am asking you again, how much time are you doing that for yourself? Are you on a regular basis giving yourself loving words of kindness? You know, self-care is a really big idea that a lot of people are working with right now. And there are like the physical things we can do about self-care, but there's also the self-talk that we have. And no matter how much money you have or don't have, or how much ability or access to things, you can have loving self-talk with yourself. And even if you don't do it yet, you can practice it today. You can say, every day I'm going to start saying 3 positive, loving things to myself. And, you know, there's that phrase, I think, like, if you don't love yourself, nobody else can love you as much. That's not exactly how it goes, but you've probably heard that before. And so can you deepen in your love for yourself? Can you spend some quiet time with yourself to get to know yourself and love yourself, and to say the things about me that might not seem lovable to others, those still might be an asset. Or if they're not serving you, how can I lovingly move that out of my life, pass it on, and shift into something that is loving? Also, because it's Dr. Martin Luther King Day, and I want to circle back around to him, He had this burning vision and dream inside of him, and he took regular action towards it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't guaranteed. In his time of doing his actions, he was considered radical. Most Americans believe that he was too radical. Now, public perception is not that he's a radical. Like we don't have holidays for other radicals. We have holidays for heroes and leaders. But in his time, he was radical. So you may have a belief or a dream that is radical to those around you, but that does not mean that it's not true or that it's not worthy of pursuing. It simply means that the status quo that you're in, the situation that you're in, is beyond what those around you are used to thinking and believing and doing. But I encourage you, if you have a burning desire or a dream, whether it's like mine is for the environment and that we all love ourselves more and connect to ourselves more and connect to the environment more, that's my burning vision that I show up with. But if you have a different one, I respect that. And if your vision is another part of this bringing the world to a greater awareness and a place where humans and communities and all that are living in a better situation or happier, or there's more opportunities and all that, I encourage you for that. I have come to my dream and my vision. Some of it I feel like it's just who I am. Sometimes I talk about this idea of spiritual DNA. I feel like my dream, my vision for the future, it's wired into my spiritual DNA. It is part of my life purpose. And whether those around me consider it radical, because I have been made fun of many times in my life for my beliefs, for carrying a reusable bag, I've been mocked for. But you know what? It doesn't change the fact that I keep on believing and keep on putting one foot in front of the other and keep on taking action. So what you believe in, when we get, I believe, to the deepest, strongest belief or vision that we feel like is like, it's a part of who we are, like it's in our DNA, it can become easier to take consistent action on that, because it is such a part of what we believe and what we know to be true. And so you may want to ask yourself, what do I know to be true? And what would I be willing to work for? Even if in my lifetime, I do not see the end result. Because some people, like Dr. Martin Luther King, like in his lifetime, he didn't see the end result. And yet he continued to work towards it and he took action. And I have not read about him enough to know, but because he believed in God and had his own spiritual religious practice, I believe he also valued himself and his contribution and knew that he was to stand up and speak this. And so that's why I believe that us loving ourselves, talking kindly to ourselves, encouraging ourselves, each one of us, you encouraging you, speaking kindly to yourself, loving yourself. One of the reasons I think that is so important is it can be tiring to work on a vision that is some level of radical or some level of not existent yet, or not in your life, not manifested yet in your life. It can be tiring to do that. But if you consistently share love to yourself, self-love, if you consistently believe in yourself and speak kind words to yourself, celebrate yourself, have gratitude, then you can continue moving forward and taking these small steps on the things that you deeply believe in and that you feel called to do, because you are taking care of yourself, knowing that you can't work on this thing if you're falling apart. And this is also why I want to share that if you feel like, oh, Rachel, there's so much I want to do, but like I've got so many responsibilities and kids and my health and this and this and that, there's no time for any of it. Then I say, I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to love you for where you are. And I want you to just immerse yourself in love then. Like, do the best in your own home that you can do that matches with your vision, that is you loving, being loving towards yourself, being loving towards your family members. If we all can just work on that in our own little units, that in itself can roll out a change. And there will be a time, if you're consistently loving yourself and affirming that, when different things start to happen, when maybe you won't have so many responsibilities, when maybe some of these things will change, or you'll have more income. So if you feel like now is not a time when you can be acting on a big dream, then act on the little dream, the little action, and I'm saying little, but it's not little, of caring for the one human who, no matter what, you are charged with her care or his care. Like, there's one responsibility that we're all given, no matter our income, race, gender, whatever. And that's this human being. Like, I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for caring for me my entire life. Yes, when we're children, other people are caring for us, but you're probably a grown-up watching this. So you are responsible for your own self. It doesn't mean you have full control over everything, unless we're a dictator with oodles of money. Like, we don't have full access to controlling all of these things. And even if we do, we can't control what other people are going to do. But you can control the things that you can control. You can work on talking to yourself in a positive and loving way. You can say, I have one human life that no matter what, my entire life, I have to steward and love and care for. And I'm going to love that human the best. I'm going to give that human being so much love that people are going to be like, wow, like, you love yourself that, like, I want you to love yourself so much so that those around you are like, I did not know that amount of self-love was possible. And you'll be like, honey, this is just the beginning. But you might not call him honey. You can love yourself so much that the people around you start to notice, and not only notice, but that you inspire them to start taking a deep breath and connecting to themselves and loving themselves. Because we all are impacted by those around us, for better and for worse. And I like to believe that I want to show up and impact those around me for better. And if I come into it negative and angry and I've been talking mean words to myself, I can't show up with love for other people when I'm working on all this nasty, mean, judgy attitude toward myself. When I show up for other people, I have to have loved myself and be compassionate and gentle and kind and reflective to myself before I can do that for other people. But when I do it for myself, I can feel that way for other people because I know how hard it is not to judge me. So I know